Monday, March 3rd. Today I woke up like usual, although this day was different. Because today my journal finally came in the mail, I can say my first paycheck was well spent. I was writing this new entry down while I watched the tanks and helicopters fly by. Oh, I guess that's not normal. Let me explain what's been going on since February. After Dynamo said the whole "this city will be mine" shtick, the governments are on high alert. They're sending tanks, jets, and soldiers all to Plainview. I've even seen Secret Service members move into the house next door. Mom didn't know, however, and thought they were our new neighbors.
Do you want honey butterscotch cookies?
Private Jones, no! And Dad doesn't even seem to care. He just likes how he can see war vehicles and army men everywhere so he can get a better reference for his war models. This is great. School's also a bit different too, as they've started putting up weird spiritual charms disguised as metal detectors, which, safe to say, has cut the local goth population by half. Even the teachers might be military leaders, because in my engineering class, all the teacher talked about was,
did you know if you had 1 meter cube of osmium traveling from the moon to Earth at a speed of 46 million kilometers per hour, it would hit the ground with 460 megatrons of TNT? Anyways, that's why I love being an electrical engineer. Everything was going good. You can already tell where this is going up until lunch. It was me, my girlfriend, Rowley, and Evan. We were sitting at the table eating drummies, which on paper should be a holy thing, but it wasn't, because when I bit into one, what the? Inside the drummy was this weird stringy thing. I was so confused that I didn't even notice that it was Dorakuma who made me spit it out. But what happened next showed why. It was alive? We then all began to spit out the food, now knowing that something was in it. I guess I was right all those months ago about them putting stuff in our cafeteria food. While we were dumping our food, however, we saw the lunch lady giving us death glares. Maybe next time make uncontaminated food. Immediately after that, we ran into Ganado and started telling him what happened. Why are you surprised? Burger King has always been like that. It took a while to explain everything, but he eventually understood the gist of what happened. That is deeply concerning. Perhaps it could have something to do with the large disappearance of drummies as a whole. Ganado started to explain to us that large shipments of drummies have been going missing over the last few months. So it's probable that weird worm thing and the missing drummies are connected to Dynamo. Quick question, what day is it again? March 3rd? Holy casserole! The Great Chicken Wing Festival is tomorrow! If our hypothesis is true, Ganado started to scramble around the room calling all sorts of phones. It seemed like he was in a panic, so we decided to leave. Tuesday, the 4th. The next day, all I could see going to school were flyers and advertisements for the Drummy Festival. I could also find news stations discussing the government's decision to criticize the health effects of the drummies, and it didn't seem like the public liked it.
Can you believe this? This is America. We dream of this day every year. We cannot let the government control us.
It seemed like the government was powerless to stop the American spirit, so it looked like we will have to take this into our own hands. We started brainstorming some ideas, but they all seemed terrible. However, what Evan suggested was actually pretty good. We could offer cash for drummies.
Where would we get the cash though?
Well, we do have powers. Yeah, so we robbed the bank. Not my proudest moment, but who am I to blame? It was Evan's idea. I don't want to go into too much detail about what happened, so here's a quick doodle of what basically happened. Room service? Oh sure, go right in. With that being said, we got banners and tables and set up for our stand. I have to say, this festival looked crazy. There were a lot of different carnival rides, like a ride the bulge style chicken wing, a blindfold pin the feather on chicken, and a bobbing for apple stand but replaced the water with hot sauce. No idea who thought that was a good idea. Rowley was our first victim. Trista went over to see if he was okay, but Rowley brushed her off saying he was tough man, according to his mom. He then wandered off somewhere. It was actually going to be pretty good for them. For us, however, not so much. It seemed nobody wanted to return their drummies for cash. Even the event organizers were giving us dirty looks, so our time to stop this event was limited. However, luck would turn itself around when the main celebration began.
Thank you everyone for showing up to the 13th annual Chicken Wing Festival. Before we start, stop! He works for Beyond Meat. They're lying to you.
Full stop. Without any evidence, the crowd instantly jumped him and ripped him limb from limb. It was complete chaos. Then it got a lot worse.
I'm back!
As the crowd began to scream, I realized what the devil was referring to. He was the zombie devil. He was back and bigger than ever. I wanted to transform, but I quickly realized that would expose my identity. Plus, that would put everyone else in danger if he started to go hog wild. Suddenly, a bunch of devil hunters appeared out of nowhere. One was hiding in a bush, another from a window, and last one inside the hot sauce pool.
Shit! Vision down! Vision down! Con!
Bitch, get the fuck out of here!
Well, obviously those weren't the cream of the crop, so we were out of luck again. However, remember how I said early that Rowley went off somewhere? Well, somehow he actually managed to make his way over to the pin needle on the chicken, but he also managed to get lost while playing it.
When I get my hands on your skin, I'm gonna wear it like a suit. Ah! Tetanus! My one weakness!
Tuesday, March 5th. Rowley received the National Hero Award today. Thank you for your service. Rowley was then parlayed back to his house. Even Evan didn't receive that kind of treatment, even though it was him who tricked everyone into turning on the festival. Surprisingly, he didn't seem to care that much, so all's well that ends well, am I right? Friday, March 8th. Today I decided to hang out with Marcus. We haven't gotten to know each other very well over these past few months, so it's great to finally hang out. We walked downtown and talked about the stuff we liked. I learned that he loves Shakespeare's plays and always wanted to be an actor before he got roped into public safety. We then went to a local blacksmith and picked up some metal for his new and improved suit. He said that with the new suit of armor, he can have improved mobility and fighting on equal footing with Bryce. Careful, it's heavy. Right before I was about to go home, however, I decided to ask him about his eye, because I've been kind of wondering where he got it from for a while. Hey, whatever happened to your eye? My eye? Well, I got it from a devil attack a few years ago. It's because of that attack I was forced to join public safety. It's not totally bad. I get free parking. Overall, I'd say my day with Marcus was pretty good. Thursday, March 14th. Today was PD day, meaning no school. I didn't really have anything planned, so I decided to train instead. I asked some of the others to come, but everyone was busy. Except for Evan. He decided to come with me, and that was pretty nice. Friday, March 15th. It's been a week since I've written in this, which feels longer than it should be, but today I hung out with my girlfriend Trista. It was great. We walked around the mall for a few hours buying snacks and stuff. We also picked up the latest Wacky Dog comic. Honestly, I'm a little concerned for Brian Little's mental state. Actually, I have something serious on my mind today. I finally decided to start taking my schizophrenia medication. After all these years, I can become normal like, but sadly, I might have to say goodbye to P.S. You still owe $5, you bum. After that surreal comic experience, we moved on to a skate park. I've never been particularly good at skating, but I've never particularly been bad at it, so maybe I could impress Trista. She looks like she was the one impressing me. Meanwhile, I had to be saved from cracking my head open. Remind me to mark down another thing I didn't know Trista could do. After my fall, we went to get something to eat. Eventually, we decided to go to a French pastry and dish shop, and you wouldn't believe who was working there. Oh, hi Greg. Wait, Chirag, I didn't know you worked here. Yep, I do. Just like I didn't know you were a part of PS. How did Chirag know about me working at public safety? I immediately asked him and he said Rowley told him. I'm 99% sure Rowley committed some federal crime. I told him that it was supposed to be a secret and that he shouldn't have known about it in the first place, and especially to not tell anyone about it. Okay, but you gotta keep it a secret. Oh please, like anyone would even believe me. Yeah, but still, if it comes out I'm a hybrid and partially responsible for all these events, everyone's gonna hate me. Well, if that's the case, I'd still be your fan. After we ate dinner, we went back to Trista's house. I gotta admit, I had one of the best nights I've had of all time. Wink.
Man, why do humans bathe? Yeah, I know, right? What's wrong with a little rust?
Monday, March 18th. After my weekend with Trista, wink wink, I checked my phone and I saw that I had a message from Ganado, which was strange because I didn't remember ever giving it to him. When I asked him how he got it, he said that he had just been punching in random numbers until he got mine. The destination was pretty far away, so I had to borrow Roderick's van. Hopefully he won't find out I used it. Once I got there, it was really weird. It was on an unmarked trail outside of Kenny City, fenced off and had a giant wall around it, and cameras everywhere. Inside, I could see rows and rows of crosses. They seemed infinite yet finite. As I got farther in, I eventually could make out the appearance of a person. Ganado. So why did you tell me to come all this way to the middle of nowhere? To tell what? About this place. Okay, but can't we do this somewhere else then? Like a coffee shop? No, I wouldn't be able to do that there. This place lets me express myself. That strikes me as odd. What did he mean by that? This place is officially called the National 2006 Disaster Burial, when 300,000 people died along with 2.1 million other people from other countries due to an extreme natural disaster. But in reality, it was a devil, the one that killed my parents. The gun devil. My devil. And every day I think about it. So many people perished because of him. And I have to live with both the anguish of being its hybrid and its sins. The reason I fight devils is because one day I hope one will kill me and free me of the past. I felt bad for punching him, but I could not let him say those things. And man, I'm such an idiot. How did I not realize who his devil was? All this time, Ganado felt responsible for the death of his family and everyone else, even though it was impossible for him to do anything back then or now. Was all this time his goofy actions and humor, they were a mask? I need to help Ganado through this, or at least try. Ganado, just because you're the gun devil hybrid doesn't mean you are the gun devil itself. Then what am I, Greg? I'm not a man, not a monster. Just a walking image of the past. And how can I escape that? My past never dies. It rots. Listen, you can't keep blaming yourself forever. The past doesn't die. That's true. But that's why the future is so important. Because no matter how tough life is, the future always comes. That's why you can't give up now. You are Ganado. We need you. You need to press on despite it. It was pretty quiet after that. Ganado just sat there looking on in silence. A couple seconds later, he motioned for me to leave. Greg, thanks for everything. Hopefully he doesn't kill himself. Hopefully he can get over his past just in time for when the big fight comes. Although, I just kept thinking about him. We're pretty similar in some ways, both thrusted into these roles as well as our own internal demons. It's a little comforting having someone to relate to. Not to sound like a fucking kid's show, but having that connection is probably the best for both of us. I'm not even sure I'd be alive if it weren't for my friends. His eyes were just blank. I knew for a fact that it couldn't be the zombie devil's zombies since Rowley killed him. It had to be Dynamo. Greg, something's coming. Yeah, probably more of them. No, from below. After that comment, we rushed home. Each mile we drove, the weirder things got. I'm talking about flying bat things and little red creatures running around. I got into Plainview and it was covered in a hellish tint of red. But then, when we got to Surrey Street, Bill, I swear to God, if he touched my family. I wasn't too concerned if Manny died though. Nigga, right in the middle of a serious moment. But man, Bill has seen better days. I feel bad for him, his body being forced to carry on in that state. It's messed up.
You're too late. The Great Crossing has begun. The gate to hell has been opened. If you do not come to the palace within the next 66.6 hours, then the armies of hell will consume everything you hold dear. The think this was all your fault?
Out of nowhere came this massive structure. It looked to be 2 to 3 kilometers tall, erupted from the ground. It split the dark red sky and surrounded the town with a dark ring. I had no idea what to do. My whole town fell into chaos. Greg, get in! Oh, Rowley, the national hero he is, came to get me the fuck out of there. If you're wondering why I didn't just use the van, it was destroyed by the monsters. We were swerving past people and eventually got out of the town and onto a secure base. Wednesday, March 20th. The last 48 hours have been a complete mess. My house is gone, my parents are missing, and the government is currently doing full damage control. The public is freaking out about what devils are. Most of the public's safety are nervous, but are keeping it together. Except for Kabeni, who has been screaming for the last 18 hours. I don't want to die! We're also currently coming up with ways to defeat Fregley and the rest of his army, although most of our strategies suck. However, I did make one good suggestion. Couldn't we just do the old bait and switch? Yeah, we could, but you'd probably expect that. Plus anything else we try. The guy's a genius. Okay, hear me out. He anticipates us to think of a strategy, so I'd say we think stupid. Fregley's plan throughout all of this is people making the best choices. So if we make bad choices, we'll completely remove the counter plan he put in place for the right ones. To my surprise, everyone seemed to agree. Even the generals thought that the bum rush was a favorable strategy. But listening to a bunch of old farts complain and give self-admiring speeches isn't something I want to talk about. So a few hours later, we were told to gear up. Greg, before we fight, please don't get too hurt. Okay, I'll make sure to die during the fight. Jerk. Just as we left, I had one thing left to do. Goodbye, Roderick. Thursday, 15 hours left. We approached the main gates. They looked even bigger than they were from far away. As soon as we got there, they opened. It was then we heard his booming voice. Well, look who's finally here. It seemed your merging brains couldn't think of any kind of strategy. Not a surprising thought, because I planned for every kind of strategy you Wait, what are you doing? Stop! Hearing Fregley's frustration of running straight through and past all his plans is generally one of the funniest things I've heard in the last few weeks. After we had gotten in, we started with the real plan. Or so we thought. Did you really think I didn't have a backup plan in case I overlooked something? What the hell was that thing? We all stood there not knowing what to do. The devil then looked down at us and started a countdown. That's when Trista realized what devil it was. The nuclear weapons devil. Evan immediately said that he would fly up and fight the devil. That's when we heard this. To quote your maker, now I have become death. destroyer of you. Ganado, the best boy that he was, came in clutch and stopped the devil's attack. Before we could get a glimpse of him, he launched into the air and started to fight the devil. Evan drove us up to the front of the stairs. This was before we encountered another obstacle. And no, I'm not referring to Fregley's army. It was Bryce. I kind of forgot that he was still being employed by Dynamo. Bryce, there's no need to do this. We can get you off scot-free if you help us. Yeah, like what he said.
Like it makes a difference now. The world's already ending, so it's better to join us.
Bryce, we're not that dumb.
So it appears we agree to disagree. Ha! You get a little faster or something? Or am I just slow today?
You guys go on ahead, I'll take care of Bryce. As we marched up the stairs, I still couldn't grasp why Bryce thought he could riz us up and convince us to switch sides. But that was a question for another day, or reality depending on if we won. After catching our breath at the top of the stairs, we pushed over the giant doors. Inside the room was really empty. I guess they haven't had time to move in yet. However, there was a few pieces of furniture inside, alongside a person.
Oh, Bryce, you're back. I hope you brought the Oh, it's you. He was a good boyfriend while he lasted. That's it? That's what you say? Not even a tear for him? You just throw people away the second you don't need them. Like the hell are you talking about? Did you honestly think I cared about him? Do you think people actually care for each other without an incentive? Like, this is reality, bitch. The only reality you're living in is fantasy, and I'm gonna wake you up.
Trista gave me an opportunity to get past Holly, so I took it. Just as I got out, the battle between BDSM versus Ice Ice Baby began. Going up the tower was very tricky. It had a horrible architecture, which made sense since Fregley got an F in structural engineering. It looks like I will be climbing it for a while. Meanwhile, hello, Marcus here. Yep, we're doing this again, or at least that's what Gregory said. I've never really written in a journal before, and I probably won't have good handwriting, so let's just blame my right eye. I was clashing with that katana guy. He was fast, but luckily I had my armor on, as well as my barrier. First from behind, then from both sides, then below, and finally... Unlike last time, I had trained to fight against opponents faster than sound. I also had Evan covering me from the hordes of zombies.
Excuse me, do you have a license to drive that vehicle? You can't just pack...
I tell ya, that kid could be a one-man army. Actually, speaking of the army, they aren't here yet because they're having a tough time getting through the barrier. Medic! You idiot, that was the medic. That just left us to defeat Dynamo. But with Ganado and the Atomic Devil flying around, it's probably hard for them to get in without dying. Although, seeing how they're the same guys who forgot the devil they were guarding was the zombie devil, and the one literally let 3 hooligans steal from the bank, I don't think the why would even make a difference in the battle.
You know, it baffles me why you choose to stick with those losers. You could have been rich, famous, popular.
Why would I want that? Simple. It's what everyone dreams. Everyone has a dream, whether you like it or not. You can't deny, even you once dreamt of being someone. He's fast enough and strong enough to cut through my barrier. I guess it's time to call Evan. Hey Evan, let's do the thing you talked about. 'Twas now or never. Evan had been preparing a new technique, the modified airplane sword. Transform! That was completely unnecessary to say, but it sounded cool. It's so cool. Now let's kill this bastard. Before we end this, I just want to say one thing. Make it quick. You're testing my patience. Yeah, you're right. I once dreamt of being someone, but I chose to give up on that dream so that others could live their lives. So that others could live theirs. You're not wrong in that every person wants something of their own, but that something may be someone else's dream. Ah! Hey, one more thing, take it from me. It's not wrong to dream. As you said earlier, it's human. But if your dream is about becoming the most popular or the richest by enslaving humanity, then you're gonna have to do some serious self-reflection.
Trista here again. Strange that it's happened twice. As soon as Greg walked out the room, Holly froze me. All bit and no bite. It's time to show my transformation. Over the past few weeks, I've finally managed to catch up with Greg and Ganado. When did she make these? Right after she stabbed me, which really hurt, I swung my arms and the chains that I previously launched swung around and crushed her. I thought that was enough, but then the bitch bit me.
After I had climbed all those steps, which took forever, I finally got to the door Fregley was behind. Oh, you made it. I take it you can't fly. Well, not in this form. Yeah, me and Dorkuma powered up after our last encounter with Dynamo last month. You know, I probably should have done that from the start. You know, I haven't gotten the chance to ask you yet, but why all of this? Isn't it obvious? Bitch, no it isn't. You've just been repeating the same message for the last 4 books. Good point. Well, I take this will be the last thing you'll hear, so I'll tell you my journey. From where I'm from, hell is rotten. It's full of maniacs and monsters. I was too normal for that place, and for that normalcy I was despised. But in the human realm, I heard it differently. The boy named Fregley never actually existed. He was created as a shell to conceal my real form so I could experience firsthand what humanity was like. As the years passed, I watched as my opinion of them fell into abject disgust. The way they treated a random, ordinary kid like me was abhorrent. Especially you, Gregory. Like the devils, they were chaotic, frequently changing their minds and opinions. They fought pointless wars over emotions, killed each other over emotions. What they lacked was control. If I managed to control everyone, there'd be no war, no violence, no chaos. They would be at peace. But I couldn't do it alone. I needed the Blood Devil. They were the key to my plan. Dorkuma has the unique ability to close or shut portals, but also has the ability to control another person's blood, either by being in proximity or through ingestion, the latter of which I used to infect everyone in the city with drummies. I originally wanted to spread it across the country and then the world, but your pain in the ass brother just had to make it difficult by going overboard in your fight. Due to that blunder, I didn't have nearly enough blood as I wanted, so alas, this was the best I could do. Dynamo then went into detail how he used the entire city as a mass sacrifice so he could open up a portal to hell and start controlling people. But me, I wasn't having any of that. You want to brainwash all of humanity because you got butthurt by a bunch of middle schoolers? How crazy can you be? I wasn't butthurt. You little shits deserved it. They were this offspring of generational malice. My vision. We broke the ceiling and we were standing on the side of the building. Not entirely sure how we were stuck to the side of it, but it wasn't really on my mind. Crap, now he's got lightning. How are we gonna close the gap? Look, a nail! I've got an idea. Thanks for keeping some of his spare blood, although I might only have 10 minutes of flight time. Also, why does all the damage we do to him disappear? I don't know. I'm surprised he kept that in your system all this time. Oh, look out! As our fight raged on, he just kept throwing more and more stuff at me. First fire, then lightning, and now a literal tornadoes. Not to mention that space warping thing he has. However, unlike him, I have a friend who is thinking of plans while I fight, like how to combat his space thingy. Tornadoes as well? It doesn't matter. He's getting close so we can make use of the fire. Get ready. And spit! You two always amaze me. How are you laughing? Don't you have several skull fractures? I'm just amazed you thought a wimpy attack like that could hurt me while you were dilly-dallying with those traitorous devils. Hey, don't say that. Even though they're murderers, they took the time to understand us and realize that you're wrong. As I was saying, I was gaining power so I could take revenge against this rotten world. So let me show you this power. Then, when you come back, Dorakuma, I hope you'll be a little more accepting. That hit must have done some real damage because my body felt horrible. I was missing my arms, and worse, my scarf was damaged. Plus, I felt this tingly pain around my head and neck. Just then, the person I least expected to help me showed up. It was Rowley. No clue how he got in here, but I guess he was really taking his national hero title to heart. I'll remember to thank him after this is all done. Damn, persistent are we? Okay, activate all-seeing eyes technique. Full 360 vision! Now, I'm not really sure if this is a technique, rather just augmented versions of Dorakuma's eyes. How is he dodging now? He shouldn't be able to. I need to increase the amount of contracts I use by... Oh, I understand now. Infinitely dense bloody knuckle! Right before I hit you, you said, I understand. I know what you've done is absolutely irredeemable, but I do respect that in your final moments you at least saw what you did was wrong. My apologies. Gah! My apologies. I was referring to my little friend brain aneurysm. I didn't understand it would take that long for it to kick in. Looks like Dorakuma was fighting him in the background.
During my fight with Holly, I could hear several large explosions, as well as impacts from outside. I could only assume my friends were okay. If they were putting all their effort in, so would I. You know, I still don't see why anyone likes you. There's nothing redeemable. Oh, please. I don't need to have a redeemable personality for people to love me. In my opinion, the truth of the world is that nobody really cares about you. If you want to win at life, you gotta fabricate not only yourself, but your image. So that was Holly's philosophy, and it was a pretty shit one, not gonna lie. But if I were to prove her wrong, then I would need to beat her, and she wasn't going to make it easy, as she then brought out her ace in a hole. Anyways, good luck dodging him. Then I noticed something, my leg. Good luck dodging him with that leg. Huh? When did that happen? I gotta rip it off. What? Why did you do that?
Why are you crying? This is what we agreed on. Every time I would be summoned, I would get a soul and you'd receive a blessing for your body. And since I didn't get a soul this time, our contract is void.
But... Well, that was shocking. Holly not only managed to defeat herself physically, but emotionally as well. Hopefully that'll teach her a lesson. She'll probably skip town and move to a third world country that doesn't have any extradition treaties. As I moved past and walked towards the door, it opened and my jaw dropped. Where's Greg? What did you do?
Who? Me? Don't look at me like that. He simply had a brain aneurysm and died.
I let my emotions get the best of me, and I was punished. I got thrown all the way down. While I was down, there I ended up bumping into Marcus and Ganado. They asked what happened to me and I said that Dynamo said Greg was dead. They looked shook up, especially Ganado, but he managed to get a grip and focus.
I know the current situation isn't what you or me anticipated, but if we give up now, if we submit to evil, Greg will have died for nothing. Division 4, let's give Greg a feast.
Then Dynamo stepped out onto the stairs. He started to speak about something. Unfortunately, he was too far away for us to hear properly.
We can't hear you! Oh, is this better? Yes! As I was saying, Greg Heffley is dead. It's best to surrender while you still can. We're not gonna give up that easily. Fact is, you still have to kill us. Lies. Seriously? More chains? Aren't you a little concerned you might hit her? Nope. My pain is your pain. Why are you laughing? I just find it super amusing that you thought you could output my effect. Look, all the damage you did is gone. Just you and me, big boy. Ha! Got your hopes up just a little too much. Bang! Bang! He's actually overpowering me. I guess I have to use her. Wait, that's a space devil. You're gonna redirect it back at me. It could open its eyes anyway. Wait, Trista, don't! You won't survive the damn— Why, thank you, Trista. Why? Why? Why didn't you stay down? That should have killed you. I don't understand. Why you keep pressing on? You have no reason to. You've lost. Why? Why, you ask? Well, I did some research on you. Throughout your life, you thought you were alone. In some messed up world, devils treated you like shit. Now I'm not gonna discuss if they were right or not. No, I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that you choose to let it happen. You choose to give up and hate the world. And you know, I came close. I came real close to giving up and becoming like you. But a friend once told me, sometimes things just happen that are out of our control. But what we do is press on despite them. That is the very thing why I am still fighting. You gave up and I didn't. I didn't give up. And knowing that makes me infinitely stronger than you. That's why. The true hero falls. Meanwhile, after that weird thing exploded out of my head, I woke up inside this weird black space. Intestines floating and blood draped everywhere. I wasn't in pain or anything. I just felt numb. Then I remembered something else. Dorakuma, Greg, you're too late. To think this was all your fault. This was all my fault. Everyone was going to die because of me. In my mind, I kept racing through all the past events. I caused this strain of events. I helped Dynamo. I couldn't even beat him. Got everyone infected. No matter how I look at it, I'm a failure. Greg, you gotta get up. We're not done yet. Why should I? The fuck has gotten into you? No matter what we do, there's no hope. He's won. I failed to kill him, failed to stop his plans. I failed to protect anyone. I'm no hero. I'm a wimp. Dorakuma, it's over. I can't continue. I just want it to be over. At least then Dummy! I then saw him wheel over this little television. I had no idea where he got that from, and nobody should question it. Maybe it will play my favorite TV show or something before I go.
You guys go on ahead, I'll take care of Bryce. I didn't give up. And knowing that makes me infinitely stronger than you.
My friends? Why were they still fighting? Once I died, it was over, right? Before I had time to say anything, Dorakuma flipped to a new channel.
As of current events, there is not a soul talking about him. With blood dripping from his veins, he cuts down devils day by day. Who is he, you ask? Well, nobody knows. But doesn't that make his story better? Can our hero from hell or heaven defeat this madman? All we can do is pray that our mysterious hero, bound by blood, can stop this villain.
Oh my god. They still believe in me. And the people were still cheering for me? Even though I failed them, they didn't give up on me. Even my friends didn't give up on me. How could I forget my own words? No matter how life gets, you can always get back up. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck Fregley. It may be my fault, but it's not too late. The world is still counting on me. I may have failed everyone so many times, but not this time. I'd rather die trying than die as a coward. With this new sense of focus and determination, I got back up. Thanks for that, Durakuma. Alright, now, let's come up with a game plan. Now that's the Greg I know. Only a fool could think they could control death. But it is I who controls them. So I passed this time for reality's equilibrium. We walked out a door with a new plan in tow. Let's finish this. I walked outside onto the giant staircase, now feeling reinvigorated. There was a shit ton of blood everywhere for some reason. Someone must have had their period or something, I don't know. Down the stairs, I saw our friends, battered and broken, missing limbs, but still alive. I could smell it. However, Dynamo had taken control of them. The fuck? Didn't I give you a brain aneurysm? Stupid lazy devil. Let's see if you have the heart to kill your friends. Playing like a scumbag, eh? It's fine by me. Huh, no explosion. Man, that sucks. Ha, you fool. I've been training for 10 years. I don't need my eyes to fight you. On guard! Maybe you shouldn't have destroyed all your minions. Ha, Shook chained the doors, but thanks for giving me time to focus on that attack. Dynamo said he wanted a fair final fight between us, so he was gonna let me drink some blood. Normally I would have told him to shut the fuck up for once, but why not take the free heal? Not fun being kicked there, is it? Fun? I'd more accurately describe this as exhilarating. Hit after hit we swung at each other, but neither of us seemed to give. Damn. I'm beat. You win. I surrender. I can't take the pain anymore. Anyway, now that you've won, wanna see my fifth urethra? What? What the actual fuck are you talking about, Freg? Gotcha. Gah! Fuck! That shit hurt. I started to see all my organs spill out, which in most scenarios would be a good thing because more blood, but this time was too much. Finally, we've crossed. Finally, peace and quiet. You know, this wouldn't all happened, Durakuma, if you had just let me have my way, or team up with that kid. But that's all said and done now. Now that I have your heart, my real plan can be fulfilled. Once humanity is enslaved, no devil will be able to stand up to me, because without fear, there is no devils. Finally, my hero's journey can begin. I know, right? Imagine if that was my heart. We'd all be so screwed right now. Nice one, Greg. He fell for it. Durakuma's blood is special in that it's poisonous, and right now, it's running amok inside you. But that's not where our plan ends. I have to admit, that contract of yours is surely something. We only realize now what to do. Your contract with the Lying Devil allows you to pass damage to someone else, so we can't kill you. We can immobilize you though. And the only way to get rid of you for good is to make sure you can't ever pull a stunt like this again. Greg, listen to me. We can make a deal. Good luck making another deal again, Fregley. Oh, and say goodbye to your old ones. Fregley, there's only one deal I'm gonna make, and it's not gonna be with you. Listen, you can't just control people. Life is meant to be shared, whether it be literally or not. Now, time to give back to the community. Hell Devil! I offer you the Control Devil / Fregley. Okay, I'm here. Jeez, you got me at a bad time right now. I'm trying to level up my Town Hall and Clash of Clans. Anyways, who do I need to take this? Oh my goodness! What happened? It's a long story. After that, the Hell Devil dragged Fregley away. Hopefully the devils of hell like the taste of boogers. With the last of our strength, we quickly gave blood to everyone, except for Marcus. I'm not sure where he wandered off to. We'll probably find him later. With that, I could finally catch a break. I finally didn't fail at something. I saved the day, stopped Fregley, and ended this century-long conflict.
Did we win?
Yup. He's about to get feasted on in hell right now. Don't worry about the others, they're getting blood right now.
I kinda feel bad for him, making him eat Fregley.
You're probably right. Or so I thought. Huh? Gregory, don't do this to us. We can save this realm. I can't leave you here. Look at what you made me transform into. All of this for you, Durakuma. Just for you to reject me? Fregley had managed to claw his way out of the portal. Inside the portal, I could see the Hell Devil trying to reel him back in. But it was like Fregley just didn't care, and he continued trying to get me. Fregley's mouth started to open wider than ever, his face mushing and melting to fit its frame. I looked over to everyone else. Trista still had a cracked skull, so she couldn't move. Ganado wasn't done repairing his body and he was unconscious. Evan was too far away, the military was nowhere to be seen, and Marcus still couldn't see anything. That first shot was for hurting my family. The second for my friend Bill. The third for using me as some tool. Roderick? If you ever come near me or talk to my family again, I'll attach your nuts to my drums while you're still alive. Listen, guys. We can make a deal, right? Wait, ah! I take it I've been out for a while. I like watching you sleep. And that's how I woke up after the battle. Honestly, after seeing firsthand Ganado's way of waking people up, this was actually pretty peaceful. Also, after 110 pages, I realized I skipped page 68. Oops. Anyways, where was I? It's been a few weeks since the battle, and overall, things are great. And for once, I have a lot more time than normal. The local officials and the state governor are having Fregley's giant tower converted into housing and office building once they've cleaned up the rest of the town. But we all know they're gonna perform some secret test there, let's be honest. But that's not all. Roderick and Aki got his soul back. Apparently once Trista defeated Holly, the devil she had contract with left her and voided her contract, meaning that Roderick and Aki got their souls back. Another thing is that he's acting a lot more normal, like how he was at the beginning of the summer break last year, which is both a blessing and a curse. That was for using my van without my permission. Things are finally going back to normal. If you're wondering about the rest of my family, well... Why are we crying over him again? Yeah, Manny's dead. But in all honesty, I think he'll come back somehow. He'll either be refused from heaven or kicked out of hell. There's no in between. But I kinda do feel bad for Mom though. She seemed to be the only one who cared for him, as proven when she beat Roderick with her purse when we got home. Trista, Evan, Marcus, and Ganado are also okay. Their Akuma said he went easy on them. Speaking on Ganado, during our sad funeral for Manny, Ganado woke up. Me and the rest of the group wanted to go see him at the hospital, but the dude just walked out and gave a press conference. I'm not going to lie, I thought you'd all freak out about devils, but you guys are taking this surprisingly well. Too well. Turns out the public was a little more understanding than we believed. Strange, isn't it? Hopefully they don't get too strange for a sequel series. For once, Ganado seemed less stressed than usual. I think during these last few days, he's come to reckon with his past. I think for once, he could look up to a brighter future. However, it wasn't just him reckoning with his past. So you're finally calling it quits? Yeah, I've been thinking about it for a few weeks. Why so sudden? During my last mission, I realized that my life has been crap for a long time now, and that hunting devils didn't really matter to me anymore. I see. Well then, it's been great knowing you. I wish you the best, man. The future devil still wants to stay with me to watch my death, so I'll notify you when that happens. Right as he was walking away though, he turned around the corner and looked at me. Aki nodded to me, and I nodded back. Aki and I didn't really like each other for the first time we knew one another, but I think in that moment we showed each other some respect. Shifting the focus back to me and my friends, Rowley got another Medal of Honor for helping Blood Boy or Hellboy, pretty sure that's copyrighted, or Devilman or Chainsaw Man. Honestly, they have no clue on what superhero name to call me. What happened to the other guy? To think we'd see you again. What happened to the other guy? Oh, him? He died like 2 weeks ago. Wasn't too sure where to place this, so I guess it's going to be here. And Bryce got arrested. What are you in for? Simping. Oh, and world domination. And for Holly, she straight up fled the country. No clue how she got away, but at least she's not a problem anymore. So overall, life's pretty good now. Just hope Fregley doesn't come back, that would suck. Anyways, I'll have to write in this later because Rowley is hosting a private party for our victory tonight, April 5th. Man, last night's party was crazy. Rowley's new house was a lot bigger than we expected. He had everything. A pool, tons of food, games, even a Dance Dance Revolution machine. Which that Kobeni lady was absolutely destroying.
Dance, dance, revolution! These beats are fresh, yo! 1,000 combos!
Even Roderick's band performed, although sadly they didn't have Bill singing. But luckily Marcus stepped up and safe to say he might become their newest band member. So maybe instead of becoming an actor, he can become a musician. Then, 3 years after that, he would then become an actor, guarantee you. However, something weird happened after that. Me and Rowley heard the doorbell ring and we didn't know who it was because everyone we invited was already here. So he opened it and do you know who ordered a key lime pie? Not sure who ordered that for us, but I have to say it tasted pretty good. After a few hours, the party started to die down. It was then me and Dorakumo got a chance to talk. I can hardly believe it's been 6 months. Feels like only yesterday we met. Yeah, time sure does fly by. That's what happens when you have fun. Well, it wasn't all fun. We got blown up, stabbed, electrocuted, and killed. If you were given a choice to go back and change anything, would you? Nah man, I wouldn't change anything. At the end, Shirag told us to gather up and take a group photo. We all gathered up. I looked back at all the friends I made during all of this, the kinds of love that I found, my triumphs and failures, how I saved the world, saved my friends. Thinking back, I wonder what life would have been if I had never stopped to help that homeless man in the dumpster. With all that said, a click of the camera ended that chapter of my life. Dying, coming back to life, and slaying devils. Weeks after April 6th. So to all the devils out there, if you hear the spillage of blood, pray to God it's someone else's because this hero of hell will certainly make it yours. Go get him, Greg. Excuse me, what the actual fuck are you doing on the last page? Dude, you invited us. You can at least share the final page. Well, I mean, seeing how this probably will be the last time anyone ever sees me, maybe I will.